Welcome to another educational video about screen printing by Catspit Productions. Thanks a lot for clicking on my video today. I really appreciate your time and attention. Please remember that I sell screen printing equipment and supplies at catspitscreenprintsupply.com online, and I have a storefront right here in Phoenix, Arizona, where you can visit me Monday through Friday and Saturdays to pick up any of your screen printing equipment or supplies needs. So check out any of my websites for more information about hours of operation and of course the location. All right, so a couple of things here. First of all, you can see I just mixed a brown ink using some leftover colors, blue, yellow, red that I had lying around, and I got a decent dark brown. And we're using the same inks that we sell on the e-commerce store, with the exception of this brown. This brown is just made up of some leftover inks that I had, but the olive drab or khaki green or whatever you want to call it is straight out of the bucket from the economy line on catspitscreenprintsupply.com. Okay, and let's remember that, at this point, I have this screen set up. It's lined up to the crosshairs on the palette. You know what I do with those. I have the screen locked in. The off contact I'm not worried about today because I'm not looking to print a high volume of ink. I don't really care. We're printing dark inks on a light colored garment, so I will print the least amount of ink that I can to achieve the print that I want. So I'm not too concerned with having a ton of off contact. In fact, I don't think I have any, but that's okay for this print. And remember, the micro registration is zeroed out. I checked both heads and I tried to get them zeroed out as best as I can. I can't wait to get the new Elite Series 2 press in here next week because it's got the physical zeroing system on the print head, which is awesome, and I can't wait to have that. And you'll notice I have a little device here. Oops, sorry about that. This is a little Squeegee Rest made by Ranar. This is a new product that we have, and I'm digging them. I like them a lot. They, instead of leaving my thing back here where it slides down and falls in, it helps control your print stroke as far as you don't want to go too far. This is a really good tool to use with beginners in the print shop when you want to make sure that that ink isn't moving where it shouldn't. And they're pretty cool. I think they're about 30 bucks each. And they fit manual and automatic screens. Okay, so now what we have to do, okay, is, forgive me, but I have to reach over here and grab some spray tack. And hopefully we won't get spray tack all over the camera and mic and all this stuff. I probably should have done this before. And it looks like this nozzle is a little gummed up. There we go. Sometimes a little bit of adhesive will get over the tip, and you just gotta, you can clean these in alcohol, actually, the tips. Clean them in rubbing alcohol and then put them back on and they should work fine. Okay, so a little bit of spray tack for the test print. All right, hopefully this white shirt is, it's gonna goof up our exposure a little bit, but this is the only shirt I have to use today because when I was moving, I accidentally threw out a box of rag shirts that I normally use for test prints and stuff. Whoops! So, here we go. Okay, so, that's okay. All right, so let me print this down, and I guess today we're just gonna use the heat gun or something, which I don't have set up, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay, so a little test print. Okay, and I got to get used to where I'm going to leave my ink. This is right about there. Okay, so that's good. All right, sorry about that. I had the mic right in the way of the screens and everything, and I forgot to plug in ye old heat gun. And you know, of course, when we print this, we're going to swing this over to the flash cure. Today, we're just doing a test print, so I'm just going to use this really quick. What you don't want to do is over flash cure this too much, because what can happen is you can shrink the shirt or possibly shrink even the ink. Sometimes plastisol ink itself can shrink, and then it's going to cause registration problems, right? So basically at this point, it's just dry to the touch. I'm not looking to cure it or anything like that. Basically, the reason I'm doing this is because when I line up the other screen on here, I just don't want a bunch of ghost images of the ink left on there. Pardon, I didn't mean to yell into the mic there. You know what I'm saying? So follow, like, we're going to put this screen down, and now we want to make sure that this is not going to get a whole bunch of ink from the bottom, from the test print. Okay, there, I'm done. It's registered. No. All right, so this screen is actually bent. Well, the deal is that sometimes when you get these metal screens, you got to remember this is a rectangular tubing, so it's square, right? Now, if they don't weld all four sides square to each other, sometimes this end will make the screen go in differently than the opposite end. So you kind of just have to work with it and see, you know, what you have, and it can be a pain sometimes, but all right, so right away I can already see that my off contact, or my positioning of this thing probably wasn't the greatest. So I'm just bringing it down to where it should be. And okay, so basically at this point I'm eyeballing the whole entire design. Not only am I using the registration marks, but I'm looking at the entire design itself, and I'm making sure that everything looks like it belongs. Okay, and I like to lift up and put down because it just can reveal things. Okay, so that actually, amazingly enough, that's pretty good. So, you know, let's tighten it up a little bit. Take another look. I like to push the screen down. This screen has a little off contact going just because I forgot to mess with it because I'm doing the video. Sometimes the video, you know, distracts me a little bit from all the details. But this actually looks pretty good. You know, depending on which way you flood and stroke, if you use a push stroke, sometimes you can register a little bit high because you know that the push stroke actually causes a good amount of stencil drag. So when you know you're using the push stroke, sometimes I actually will register the second color or subsequent colors off of the key printer just slightly up. But I'm not going to do that today. Let's see what happens like this. So now I have to, let me make sure these are clamped down properly. There we go. See, just clamping it down actually. Now there's really pretty much no off contact, just like the other screen, which is good. And I'm just checking. Just double checking and checking everything. And unfortunately, you'll never know until you do the test print. So let's get some ink on here and we'll do the test print. All right, so here we go. Let's try this out. And just based on what kind of design I'm doing, and this ink is a little thicker than I anticipated, so I'm actually going to pull stroke. And the reason is I really don't want any stencil drag today. Okay, so what we can see is that you can actually see, first of all, the ink isn't flowing very well yet, and even the pull stroke pulled me up a little bit. So let's get this ink flowing a little better. I'll stay with the pull stroke for now. And my arthritis in my left shoulder is acting up. Okay, so now what we have to look at is we basically have to decide what's going on with the stencil drag. So at this point, what I'll do is a secondary test print just to see what's going on with the way this screen is moving. Okay, so or I may have to adjust both of my print strokes to be the same. You follow? Because of the stencil drag, what we did was the brown ink, I push stroked, so that's pushing the stencil drag that way. For the olive screen, I pulled stroke, so it's actually creating this little bit of gap. So on the next test print, I'm going to do both print strokes in the same direction and see what kind of registration we actually have. Okay, so for this test print, because my arthritis is hurting a little bit, I'm going to do both push strokes because it's easier on my shoulders. Okay, we got to do a quick flash. Okay, and now we're going to do a push stroke to see what kind of registration we actually have. I'm not sure I flash cured the brown quite well enough. Let's see, I think this is good. Anything that you might see, which you can't on the camera, I can in person. I can see, you know, some slight things because we're talking but registration, right? But don't worry about it because as we print, some of this stuff is going to fill in. And this design, I probably should have opened up the text a little bit down there and stuff. And okay, so I'm ready to do the test print, the actual test print on the actual shirt. Okay, and we'll see, you know, how well this whole idea worked out for me. Make sure to get your height before you print a shirt. You know, your print height, okay? And don't forget to tape off your registration marks. A lot of the time I forget to do that. It's kind of a pain. Not bad. Let's go with the green now. And there we go. It's interesting. I got to take a look at it and see. Oh, I think the green needs a little bit more actually. I don't think it got enough coverage down towards the bottom. There we go. That's a little better. Oh, that's pretty cool. Not bad. Here's the test print that we did on the white t-shirt. And you can see that the registration is very good. And I think that reinforces the mode of thought. When you're setting up a print job, it's a good idea to use, start out with the same print stroke direction, the same mesh counts, the same squeegee durometers. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, here we have a 2-color. So I put them both on a 125/70 mic. Both of them have a 70 durometer squeegee. and finally, you know, both of them are flood and print stroking the same direction. I did them in opposite directions to start out with just because I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. It's always best to do everything the same way the first time on test print and then adjust things from there. Here is the actual print on the actual shirt. Okay, so this is finished product. It's pretty cool. I think we achieved what we wanted to do and some. It's a very muted look. It's a very dark look. I think it'll be great once it's outside and you know, it's visible in daylight. It'll look really good. That's all for today. Thanks a lot for watching. Please remember, if you like my videos, you like the tips, you use the information, please rate, thumbs up, please comment, and most importantly, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need your help to stay on YouTube and continue producing these videos free of charge for the world to enjoy. Thanks a lot for watching today. Rate, thumbs up, comment below, subscribe. We'll see you next time.